Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a question because I'm not really fully aware of what the exam is like, especially the speaking part of it. So if you have any requirements, like how long am I supposed to be speaking for, like those questions, do you like are they like part one questions?
Yes, so today we're going to practice only speaking part one. And basically the exam, part one of the exam lasts from 4 to 5 minutes. And then the examiner is going to ask you about there will be 2 topics, and the examiner will ask you about 8 questions, which actually means that you have 30 seconds, like under real exam conditions, you have 30 seconds for one question, including the time when the question is asked. But
All right.
but actually, our purpose today is to provide the viewers with as much language as possible, with vocabulary and grammar. And then, so we can, I believe we can speak longer than that, and
All right.
it's perfectly fine. But under exam conditions, it's the task of the examiner to interrupt you. I'm not going to interrupt you in any way. So, and I will also maybe speak longer than for longer than 30 seconds or something. So yeah, and I'll just remind you the evaluation criteria: that's fluency and coherence, then grammatical range and accuracy, lexical resource, and pronunciation. So,
All right.
All right. So, do you like art?
Well, to be completely honest with you, I have never been a culture vulture, but I'm not a philistine either. I mean, I can see the beauty of certain art forms, especially dance, and I'm absolutely mesmerized by certain visual art forms such as landscapes, especially marine landscapes. Um, that gives me pleasure and delight to be watching dance performances and to be looking at certain paintings for hours, like taking every detail in.
Right. I don't know why, but when I saw this question, well, what came to my mind was speaking about paintings only. And for some reason, yeah, like it's like I was only going to talk about painting, but of course, art is like I don't know why, but I would just say that I kind of yeah, I'm not a culture vulture either, but I would say that I kind of like art, because some artworks, they construe a certain mood or emotion, and then they also create an incredible atmosphere, and they can inspire me. On top of that, probably won't be an exaggeration to assert that they embody a wide spectrum of emotions. So and yeah, I would say I'm leaning towards a positive answer here. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think it would be interesting for you to be an artist?
That could be an exciting experience. I mean, the experiential aspect of creating art could be of interest to me, that's for sure. But I do not believe that I possess any talent whatsoever. And probably I'd like to have a stab at it, to have a go, but I'm not completely sure that I would succeed in it.
Okay, well, it's pretty much same here. I don't have any urge to do creative work such as art, and nor do I have an artistic talent. But I'm utterly convinced that doing creative work can be therapeutical. It can have a therapeutical effect, and well, it's just it's great to create beauty through art. I'm not sure though that what I would create would be would be something beautiful, but anyway, just
Yeah, I
theoretically
see
speaking.
what you mean, Yuri, but I'm not completely sure that creating art is what constitutes being an artist. I mean, being an artist is so much more than just painting something for therapeutic purposes or just for pleasure.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So are there any works of art on the wall in your room?
Well, actually, no, nothing. My walls are completely bare. I'm not completely sure why that is, but I believe that, well, there are many reasons. First of all, I do not still consider my room as my room because I live in my husband's apartment. And secondly, I do not feel an urge, I do not feel that there is any need to deck out the room with paintings or something like that.
Okay. Well, in my apartment back in Russia, I believe there could be, like, maybe there is a, yeah, there's a photo of my family which takes pride of place in my lounge, but there aren't many artwork items. But right now I'm renting an apartment in Cebu, Philippines, and here I have several paintings. I mean, they were there when I moved in, and so although it doesn't help me create a space that reflects my identity, or it doesn't let me show off my artistic side, because this is not my apartment, but yeah, I can enjoy some pictures with flowers. I don't know what kind of, uh, having been born a man, I'm not that interested in flowers, but yeah, there are some pictures with flowers on the walls here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever visited an art gallery?
Well, shame on me, but I never visit art galleries out of my own will. The only exception is when I go somewhere, like traveling, especially when I have to accompany a group of students. And when we go, let's say, to London, we usually pay a visit to an art gallery such as Tate Modern or National Gallery right in the center of London. On the other hand, I can't say that I do not appreciate those visits. I certainly do. I enjoy looking at some paintings, especially by impressionist artists. So I can easily spend a few minutes and maybe even like a couple of hours standing in front of one particular painting and looking and trying to absorb every little detail of it, because it certainly evokes certain emotions in me. On the other hand, I can be totally misunderstanding why on earth a certain artist created this or that kind of installation. What's the meaning of it? It looks absolutely absurd to me, and I just look at it as some curiosity, but nothing of value, of real value.
Okay. Well, yeah, as for, I kind of like agree with you on what you with what you said, and personally, I don't visit art galleries much, especially like in the last couple of decades. So probably most times when I visited some art galleries were like excursions or trips to museums organized by school when I was like still
Mm-hmm.
back in my school years. But now, just because I have like jam-packed schedule, I work a lot, and I don't really have time. But like in places where I lived in the last couple of years, like Bali and here in the Philippines, I don't think there are many art galleries. I haven't heard of any. So it's just I cannot even visit one, even if I wanted.
Yeah, I think that's mainly stems from the fact that we are not particularly interested, right? Were we more interested, were we more passionate about art, we would probably find those galleries and we would find the time to go there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and for this topic, the last question is, do you like modern art or traditional art?
That's a hard one. On the one hand, I can't but admire the imagination of modern artists. It never ceases to amaze me how on earth they actually um, imagine what they imagine, and where on earth do they get their ideas from. Because for me, I'm rather a conventional person. Their rich imagination is totally worth of admiration. It's something totally admirable. On the other hand, I have an affinity for traditional art. I'm talking about realistic paintings and art forms here, because I think realism is the one art form and that one style that is capable of evoking expressions, impressions in people, feelings and emotions, and something that people can actually relate to, unlike modernistic art.
Okay. Yeah, I can add that what I like about traditional art is this like timeless beauty that many people can't resist. So yeah, for example, like classical sculptures with their harmonious lines and elegant forms, they have a like a timeless quality that doesn't cease to captivate viewers. But as for modern art, I like the way it breaks away from traditional forms and conventions. So, and not only that, but it also allows for like personal interpretation and emotional connection. Okay.